Greetings and welcome to the 1/6 Scale Man proudly presents another episode of Corner the Definitive Take. I'm your host, Lael Rockwell for the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube channel. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel like this, hit that bell notification like this tells you to do. So you're always up to date as to what we got going on over here on the channel, whether it's live streams, definitive takes, interviews, you name it, videos, we got it. Everything over here for you to enjoy just as much as I want you to. Again, thank you for being here. It's going to be a fun one tonight. This one's going to definitely be a fun one tonight for all my Star Wars fans, mainly me. I'm a diehard Star Wars fan first and foremost. So definitely want to give you a shout out to everybody out there who's going to be watching this. And let's get some house cleaning out the way first and foremost. Again, we are full-fledged ahead as we always are with the Halloween initiative. Again, this initiative is near and dear to thy heart. It is something that we put together to make sure that kids can enjoy the holiday season, especially for Halloween. Again, the initiative started on August 26th, ends on October 25th. This is our way of basically giving back to the kids. All super chats proceeds that we actually put out goes towards making sure that kids have what they need for the holiday season, that they can enjoy the holiday season. They get costumes, candy, whatever it may be. And even if you don't donate here, you can actually go out to your local neighborhood, donate, and make sure kids will be able to enjoy themselves with costumes, candy, whatever it may be. Make sure that you definitely support because that's what it's all about. Do want to give a shout out to the places where we get these figures from. Starting off with my guy Ray over there at Underground Figures. Again, all day, every day. Ray, if you are looking for it, he got it. No NRD. Shipping handling is definitely reasonable. Again, full transparency. He will respond in such a timely manner. Sign up for his newsletter so you're always up to date as to what he has going on over there. And yes, Ray will take care of you as he always does. You just head on over there, tell him the Leo sent you, and he will hook you up proper like. You already know that. Definitely, he will definitely take care of you. Also want to give a shout out to my bro, my ace boom cool, my man Ray over there at Hawkwarts Toys. Again, if you were looking for them grails, if you were looking for a comic, if you're looking for stickers, my man Ray will definitely take care of you. It's nostalgic with him. You know what I mean? He'll definitely make sure that your figures are packaged well and gotten to you. They'll get to you in such a timely manner. He definitely takes care of you. So give him a shout out. He'll take care of you. Proud sponsor of Fallout over there at the Figure Flex Friday Facebook group. So definitely give him a shout out. He will take care of you as always. Also want to give a shout out to my man Watcher 6 over there at Comic Relief Comic Collectibles. Again, if you are looking for the latest and greatest in comics, 1/2 scale, 1/12 scale, anything you're looking for, he got it. He'll definitely take care of you. Hit him up, sign up for his newsletter, and he got you because that's my bro. Also want to give a shout out to my mans, Brian Wong over there at Modu Case, Modu Space. If you're looking for such an immaculate display of, just to be able to display your figures or however you want to display your collectibles, Brian Wong will take care of you. Hit him up, tell him I sent you. My guy got you, as always. So again, it is time for us to dive into this definitive take. Now, again, this is near and dear because look, first off, 1977, first time I actually saw Star Wars on the big screen. Okay. I've been hooked ever since. I've been a fan since day one. I am a loyalist when it comes to Star Wars, and that's just the way it's going to basically be. Star Wars first, comics second, anything else is uncivilized. You already know what it is, man. So definitely that's just the way it is for me. I've enjoyed the original trilogies, the prequels. Even I found a way to basically enjoy the sequels. I found a way to do it. There are certain aspects of it that I did enjoy that I think that they've done well. It is what it is. Like, not everybody's going to enjoy everything, but there's a space for things out there. There's always a space, for any individual. Just remember, like I said, when we basically started, and when I started, I'm aged. I'll be 51 this month. Happy birthday to me. But I'll be 51 on the 25th of this month. I'm very aged. Again, Sadness the Theater's 1977. It was the first time something like that was introduced. So even there was a lot of criticism back in the day. You got to remember, each generation enjoys things that we may not, or they may see things different. Just like it was with the prequels, just like it will be for the sequels. So it's Star Wars. I enjoy it, even if some may not. Even some of the Disney Plus shows, I love Star Wars. So that's where I'm at. But again, this is a tale of the one who basically started it all and his past. We wanted to know. We always wanted to know how Vader came to power. We wanted to know Vader's backstory, his tragic backstory. We wanted to know where it all started because we know where it ended, but we needed to know where it started. We were introduced with the Phantom Menace to young Anakin Skywalker. Brash little young kid, bright-eyed, again, visionary, inventor, creator. He could fix anything. The Force, he was very intuitive, and the Force was strong within him. Pod racer, immaculate conception by Shmi Skywalker. And of course, this is who we got, soon to be the chosen one that bring balance to the Force, Anakin Skywalker. So what does Hot Toys decide to do? They don't give us the child version, but they did actually give us the adult version. But the one that they actually started with, first and foremost, was the light side Anakin. Now, I remember when we got pictures of this, I was so excited. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I cannot wait to get this figure. I remember my boy, shout out to my man Damon, he sent me pictures of this, and I was like, yo, hadn't this already come out? But no, it didn't. It was head sculpts of what they were basically attempting to do, and they released the light side version of Anakin Skywalker. This is the one that I had. This is the one that I basically got the original. I was so excited when it dropped. I pre-ordered it. Could not wait. Anakin Skywalker to finally have one in my collection. I was like, let's go. Let's go. Love this tunic. Love the design. It still holds up in my collection. This is the Annie that I basically have. And the one that started it all. It started us down that journey when it came to collectibles. And I think that they nailed this piece. They definitely did. So many different accessories we got with it. We got his robotic mechanical hand. It was incredible. So the things we got with this particular figure basically held up. Definitely excited about it. Was a figure that I loved. I still love. Still sits right back here in my collection. Actually, no, it's over here now. But yeah, I'll never get rid of it because I remember the moment that I got it in my collection. I was just excited about it. And this was one of the ones that we were like at the time, I thought would have been the only release. Hey, little did I know what they were basically planning on doing. And this one, here's the thing. When this was released, everything was fine in the world. Everybody was okay with it. We were excited about it. And then what did they turn around and do? As soon as it was released, then we got a Toy Fair exclusive. Toy Fair exclusive dropped for the Dark Side Anakin. So instead of just basically giving us a figure with two head sculpts, they just decided we're going to give you a brand new figure with a base, and it's going to be the Dark Side version. And you're going to love it or leave it. And I'm like, really? This is what you're doing? This is what we're going to actually do. This was the 2018 Toy Fair exclusive. And it was met with a lot of dismay, but after just a lot of scrutiny, and once I calmed down, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this, right? Let me go ahead and pre-order it. I do want it in my collection. It'd be worth having. So I pre-ordered it, only to find out later on that Sideshow, yeah, I'm talking to you guys, miscalculated with my order, sent me a notification to let me know that, hey, we miscalculated. We didn't have as many, and they had to refund my money. I was like, who does that? Who does that? After I had almost damn near paid it off and it was ready to come home, wasn't able to get it. But again, this was met with slightly some controversy because, again, if you had the light side version, you had to just spend even more money just to get this particular version, which is the dark side version. And again, on top of that, on the secondary market, this thing is high as hell. So good luck trying to find it at a reasonable price. I'm just saying, Dark Side Anakin, everybody wanted it. It was an incredible piece, an incredible figure, one that you definitely needed to have in your collection, one that you wanted. And you were like, yo, I'll accept that. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm good with it. As long as I have something in representation of what I'm looking for, I'll take that all day, every day. I'm good with it. Give me Anakin Skywalker. I'll rock with it, and I'm smooth. That's just the way everybody felt. That's what they felt. As long as they had an Anakin Skywalker in their collection, they did not care. They didn't. You got the one that you wanted. And that's what it was all about. But it was just like how they did it. It was like, come on, man. Do better. Do better. You could have gave us 2 head sculpts and we would have been excited about it. You could have gave us that base and made it like a DX. Why not? But they didn't. They didn't. And we paid the price for it, especially if you had to buy a second one. It's just the way it was. If you wanted it, you had to get it. But it is what it is, right? But moving on. Later down the line, I didn't know where they were going to go with this. And then, this about a few years ago, we finally got the Clone Wars Anakin Skywalker. Okay? So we're moving on up. We got the Clone Wars Anakin Skywalker, one that, again, represented the Clone Wars. If you actually watch the Clone Wars, this was in representation to that particular character because it came with his armor, his patented maroon and blue tunic with his cape. Again, hair was cut differently, but this was a younger version of Anakin. You know what I mean? This was Anakin Skywalker before, you know, the dark side. This was Anakin Skywalker when him, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan were on their wildest of their adventures. You know, even though he was sort of disgruntled about the Jedi Council, still, this is what we got. And it's an amazing figure. I will say, I love the head sculpt on this one. It is extremely fantastic. The accessories that came with it, the cape, the swappable cape option, it was definitely decent. You know, it holds up. It is definitely a pillar in my collection. I don't know about everybody else's, but in my collection, it looks phenomenal. It is definitely worth it. It's a piece that, you know, pretty much I'm glad that I got and I was able to get my hands on, because it was a little shifty there. And I think it's still available. Now, there's 2 versions. You got this particular version right here, but then you also got the version Anakin with the staff. Now, that was a bit more expensive. And again, didn't necessarily want the staff. So I kind of passed on that one because it definitely wasn't one that I needed in my collection. So I passed on it. But you did get Anakin on the actual staff, which was a decent piece. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely decent if you're looking to have something like that or have something like that in your collection. You get a phenomenal looking piece. You know, you get the droid staff. You can get to pose this character on that staff, and it looks good. But I just did not need it. So I passed on it. Okay? I just didn't want it. So I went with just the standard version, you know, without the staff. And you can see the progression. You can definitely see the progression, slight hints of progression with paint application, the sculpt, the hair, everything was slightly different, you know, with this version. And I think they did a good job. You know, for what it was worth, they definitely did a good job. And we can see that innovation, elevation with this piece, right? But they didn't stop there. They definitely didn't stop there. Hence, they decided that we need to elevate. We need to innovate. We need to do better. We need, and we know we can. So what did they introduce? Finally, we actually got young Annie from Attack of the Clones, which, mind you, I'm shooting this video today. Mine arrives tomorrow morning. I'm definitely excited about that. But we got young Annie. You know, again, you can see the differences. Hair was cut shorter. He had the Padawan ponytail, of course. His tunic was a little bit brighter. Again, you know, before his cape, this was the representation. He always had to stand out, and he wanted to be fancy. He comes with 2 lightsabers, of course. This was around the time that he also lost his right hand. So you get Anakin pre-hand slice. Pre. You know what I mean? Before, you know, he was tempted, highly tempted. Well, you know, definitely was tempted by the dark side, but before he got vengeful, you know, he became vengeful. Again, he owes that to Count Dooku. There's his mechanical hand right there. And as we know, he got his revenge. He definitely did. He got his revenge. So, but I was excited because definitely we got this. We got Padme. They went in on an Attack of the Clones line. We got Mace. We got Jango Fett. You know, we got C-3PO. We got R2. What else did we actually get from it? We're still waiting on we're trying to get, and can't wait for us to get the Obi-Wan Hopefully they give us mullet Obi-Wan from Attack of the Clones, Jesus himself. We got the super battle droids, the battle droids. What else? Am I missing anything? I think we got everything so far. You know, pretty much we got just a host of different figures from that line, and I think they did an incredible job with it. They definitely did. But you know what? They definitely didn't stop there, because, and I'm going down the line when it comes to when these particular figures were released and revealed. Next up, now here's the thing, and I say this because we know that, again, there's always room for improvement and elevation. InArt comes on the scene and they basically start introducing their 1/6 line, you know, where there's the artisan rooted hair, the purrs with the eyes, magnetic base. They evolved, which, you know, it always forces competition to do the same. So evolve, it's a must. Evolution is there. You need to evolve. You need to move forward. And hence, that's exactly what they did. And by them doing so, what did we get? None other than Anakin Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith. Now, this is basically the first, or one of the first, because to be quite honest, the first artisan that we got was Wonder Woman. But they just didn't label it Wonder Woman. They didn't label it artisan because it was the WB 100th anniversary. So that to me was the first artisan because of the wool hair. Then we got Joker, and then we got Anakin. Now, before basically we got Anakin, they introduced it, and it wasn't an exclusive at that time until it went up for pre-order, or until we were able to RSVP, and that's when we found out it would be an exclusive piece. But yes, Anakin Skywalker, 2 sabers, both his and Count Dooku, comes with the scar, of course, but you can see the rooted hair. Now, again, at this time, we don't know when it's going to be released. It's supposed to be released soon. Don't know when, but this would and could be considered, just by looking at it, the definitive version of this figure. And that's, I'm not going to lie, it looks good. Everything about this piece looks phenomenal. It looks incredible. It is definitely the one that you would want to have in your collection. And I think they did a phenomenal job with the sculpt, with the purrs. And the purrs, again, like I said, to have the purrs with this is something special, because then we don't have to rely on just that stoic look. You get the purrs, it brings the figure to life, which is what we've been asking for, which is what we have wanted for the longest time. We got the version that we want, and definitely exciting times. But you know what? They definitely did not stop there, because I would actually say the final iteration, their iteration of Anakin that we've actually gotten, comes in the form of the Ahsoka show, Anakin Skywalker. Now, again, people look at this and was like, yo, it's more of like a bland, happy-go-lucky look. But I love this sculpt. I'm not going to front. I love the sculpt. I love the simple fact that he was more enlightened. He was more in tune with who he was. The Force had bind him. It basically proved that he was actually the chosen one. And I think he reached his fullest potential in this show. We see it. He needed to teach Ahsoka her final lesson to finish her training. And it was for her to live. And I love that story arc. I love this figure. I think it looks good. The tunic looks good. The armor, the coloring, everything. Even the head sculpt. The hair on that looks good. Cannot wait to get this one in my collection. You can see there it comes with the young Ahsoka, played by Ariana Greenblatt. And I think she definitely did a phenomenal job as that character. I do want to see more. I want to see more of them. I would love to see a Clone Wars live action series where it just tackles aspects of Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan's story that hadn't been seen through animation and not on screen. I would definitely love to see that. Put some money into that, because that's what fans would love to see, those adventures. There's opportunities there, Star Wars. You can tell all these other stories, but then pay homage to where it started, and I'm pretty sure people would watch it because they would love it. And I love this sculpt. I definitely love this figure. I do. I'm not going to front. I really love this figure. Now you're probably asking, Lael, what we're doing right now is supposed to be a definitive take. What do you basically think is the definitive take? Look, what would you label as the definitive take of a figure that stands out amongst the rest? That's a hard one, because, well, not really, because I know that they're the go-to for a lot of people would definitely be the Artisan, based on it's a newer interpretation. It's the wool hair purrs. It's the DX version of that of that figure. So I think it's also left up to interpretation. Again, I want to bring these up. We have Anakin Skywalker, which is the light side version, dark side version. We have Anakin on the staff, young Anakin from Attack of the Clones. We have the Artisan version, and then we have the young Ahsoka version, right? So when we think about it, what do you think? And I want to know in the chat, what do you think is the definitive version for you? That's what it's all about. What's going to be the definitive version from these figures for you? I sort of know what mine is, but what's going to be definitive for you? Now, it's hard because I don't have the Artisan in hand. It's also hard because I don't have the Ahsoka version in hand. I can only go off of the ones that I definitely have in hand right now, because it's hard to basically say that the Star Wars Anakin Skywalker version, Artisan version, is going to be the definitive option, considering the simple fact that we haven't seen it yet. So I can't really speak on those two yet. I know there's potential, but I can't speak on those yet. So with that basically being said, what do I think is the definitive version for me as of right now, until further notice? Well, the definitive version for me, and it's only because it is a companion piece, definitely has to be Anakin Skywalker, because it was the first time we got a chance to see Hayden Christensen in a film, and that was from Attack of the Clones. Say what you will about the film, but as far as the figure, in my opinion, right now, just as it stands right now, because again, we haven't gotten the Artisan yet, and we definitely haven't gotten the Anakin Skywalker from the Ahsoka show. I think for me right now, this is going to be the definitive version, because this is where it all started. This was the first version, clean cut, young, wet behind the ears. But I love the tunic. I love the purrs. I love the baby hair. I love the way it looks. And I think for me, just for me, this is my definitive. And here's the thing. I don't have it in hand, but I've seen the prototype. I've seen the production photos. I know what to expect because I've seen videos, whether it was Justin Collections, whether it was MRC, Brother Cousins, anybody who actually has this in hand, I've seen it. So I'm already excited about it. I can't wait till it gets here. It does arrive tomorrow. So ladies and gentlemen, I have just answered your question. If you want to know what is the definitive figure for moi, it will definitely be the Anakin Skywalker from Attack of the Clones. Bar none. I think it's a phenomenal figure. And listen, I'm saying that because I actually have the light side Anakin, this is still an incredible piece. But again, I leave it up to you to tell me what's definitive for you. What's definitive for me may be different for you, but that's what it's all about. Let's have those conversations. Hit up the chat. Let me know what you think is the definitive Anakin Skywalker for you, and let's have that conversation. I love it. Y'all been doing it thus far, and y'all been rocking with me since day one. So I thank you very much. This has been another episode of The Definitive Take. I am Lael Rockwell for the 16 Scale Man YouTube channel, signing out. Letting you know, I definitely appreciate y'all. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you're always up to date. That's what we got going on over here on the channel. But other than that, thank you very much. This is Lael Rockwell signing out, just to let you know, this was my definitive take. But let me know what's yours. We're out. And may the force, not those balloons, but may the force be with you always.